Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about linear equations in two variables, and this little guy right here is going to be joining us throughout the lesson, dropping comments. Alright, so the first thing we're going to learn about, which we talked about the other day in class a little bit, is slope-intercept form. That is simply y equals mx plus b, which I'm sure you've all seen at least one time. We know that m stands for slope, and b represents the y-intercept. Alright, so let's think about this. If we have the equation y equals 2x plus 3, why is it that 3 is the y-intercept? Well, as we talked about in last night's video, we know that the y-intercepts come anytime that x is equal to 0, correct? So, look, we plug in 0 for x, we get y is equal to 3, so we get a y-intercept at 0, 3. It's really simple, but it makes sense. See? That's neat. Alright, so, real fast, let's go over positive and negative slope. We kind of look at the line and the way, whether it's positive or negative, from left to right. So if we look at this line from left to right, we see that it's going downward, so we're going to know that it's negative slope. And this line has positive slope. That's at least good to know, so that when you're trying to find slope, you can tell, you know, for this graph right here, if you end up with a negative answer, you probably did something wrong. Alright, two special cases. This first one is a horizontal line, and the second one is a vertical line. Some of you may know that the horizontal line has a slope of 0, and that a vertical line has a slope that is undefined. Well, let's take a look at why. Alright, let's pick 2 points on this first line. We got 1, 3, it seems like. 1, 3. And let's take another point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 3. Alright, now, let's use the slope equation of the slope real fast, and see what we get. So we have y sub 1 minus y sub 2, which is 3 minus 3. This is m equals slope over x sub 1 minus x sub 2, which is 5 minus 1. We see that we get on the top 0, on the bottom 4, and 0 divided by any number is equal to 0. So that's a simple reason right there why the horizontal line always has a slope of 0, because no matter what, the y value is always going to be the same no matter what point you pick. Therefore, when you take the y sub 2 minus y sub 1, or y sub 1 minus y sub 2, it's always going to be a number minus itself, which is 0. This line right here, specifically, is going to be represented by y equals 3. And that makes sense, because no matter what x value we pick, y is always equal to 3. Now, let's check out this line. Let's pick a point right here. Let's start with this point, which looks like negative 3, 2, and this point, which looks like negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, again, let's find the slope of that line. We have y sub 2, 6, minus y sub 1, which is 2, over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which is negative 3, minus negative 3, which gives us 4 over, bottom's going to be 0, and we know anytime we divide by 0, it's undefined. And that is why all vertical lines have a slope that is undefined, because the x values are always the same, therefore it will be a number minus itself, which is equal to 0. And again, this line specifically is going to be represented by x equals negative 3, because again, No matter what y value you pick, it's always at x equals negative 3. X equals negative 3, x equals negative 3, and so on and so on. Therefore, all vertical lines are represented by x equals something, and all horizontal lines are represented by y equals something. Alright, another helpful form of a line to remember is point-slope form. So before we learn about slope-intercept form, this is going to be point-slope form. And this is helpful because all you need is one point and the slope. So, for example, if we have a slope, sometimes I'm bad at this. We have a slope m equals, equals 4, and we have a point 1, comma 2. That's all we need in order to find the equation of the line. We simply plug in y sub 1 for y, so it's going to be y minus 2 equals m, which is 4, times x minus 1. This is supposed to be a big parentheses. Whoops. And there you go, that's all you need. That is going to be your point slope form. So anytime you're given a point and the slope, you can find the equation. You can go ahead and solve this and turn it into slope-intercept form if we want. We have y minus 2 equals, we distribute this, so we have 4x minus 4. We're going to add 2 to both sides. It's going to give us y equals 4x minus 2. There you go. Slope-intercept form. Real easy. Alright, now let's take a look at this question. Finding parallel and perpendicular lines. It says, find the slope-intercept form of the lines that pass through the point 3, 2 and are A, parallel, and B, perpendicular to the line 3x minus 4y equals 6. So, first we're going to go ahead and find a line that goes through the point 3, 2 and is parallel to this line. Okay? One thing to keep in mind is anytime two lines are parallel, that simply means they have the same slope. So, let's go ahead and take a look at what the slope of this is going to be by putting in slope-intercept form. We have 3x minus 4y equals 6. It's going to give us 4y equals 3x minus 6. And it's going to give us y equals 3/4 x minus 6/4. So this is the slope right here. Therefore, we know that when it's parallel, this line must also have a slope of 3/4. So let's use the equation, the form we just had, which is point slope form. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to have y minus y sub 1, which is 2, is equal to m, which is 3/4 because they're parallel, times x minus x sub 1, which is 3. I'm using this point right here. And it wants slope-intercept form, so we have to go and solve that slope-intercept form. It's going to be 3/4 x minus 9/4. And I got 2 of both sides. It's going to be 3/4 x. Oh boy, how fast can I do this? It's going to be negative 1/4. So this right here is a line that goes through the point 3, 2 and is parallel to the line 3x minus 4y equals 6. Now, to find a line that's perpendicular, we have to know the rule that anytime two lines are perpendicular, they have opposite reciprocal slopes. So the opposite reciprocal of 3/4 is going to be negative 4/3. You simply flip them and take the negative of it. So, again, we can do the same thing. We're going to have y minus 2 equals, this time we're going to have the slope of negative 4/3 times x minus 3. Gotta solve it again. We're going to have y minus 2 is equal to negative 4/3 x plus 4. Add 2 to both sides, and we're going to get y equals negative 4/3 x plus 6. So there's a line in point slope intercept form that is perpendicular to the line 3x minus 4y equals 6. Alright, take a shot at these questions. Good luck. He knows the answers, but he won't tell.